As someone who's lived in the Portland, Oregon area for more than a decade, I've become kind of an expert on the Columbia River Gorge. Gorge, that's how people say it. More than 2 million people visit the gorge each year. In this video, I'll take you to 12 top attractions and share some travel tips so you can make the most of your visit. We'll focus on the most easily accessible, popular attractions that you can see in a day or two. Our first stop is Crown Point. While the Vista house there in the distance might be the more well-known stop, you have to check out this view from Chanticleer Point at the Portland Women's Forum. Shout out from my shadow self to the collective unconscious. Holla! As for the Vista house itself, you can go inside during operating hours. There's a balcony up top and a lower level with coffee, gifts, exhibits, and restrooms. This art gallery leads back out, where you can check out a view of the gorge. Wow, just like the Norwegian fjords, but worse. Before moving on to waterfalls, I'll briefly mention that if you want to avoid parking hassles, especially during peak summer season, you have options such as the Gray Line waterfall trolley and the Sasquatch shuttle. You can even tour the gorge by plane. What a world. Okay, it's waterfall time. If the lot at the Latourell Falls trailhead is full, there's also overflow parking just on the other side of this bridge. For a while, this was my favorite waterfall in the gorge because it's so striking and so easy to get to, with only a 2 to 3 minute walk down to the base. You can get really up close and even walk behind this waterfall if you have appropriate footwear for slippery rocks and maybe some trekking poles for stability. Am I starting to look like the geneticist from Jurassic Park? If you want a different perspective of Latourell Falls, you can take these stairs to a viewing platform. For those who have more time to linger, you can take a moderate level hike that takes maybe about 30 minutes up to Upper Latourell Falls. Our next stop is hidden in plain sight. Look at this virtually empty parking area on a sunny weekend. Shepperd's Dell is one of the most easily accessible yet underappreciated waterfalls in the gorge, and it's often unknown even by locals. The good news is that once you've been there, you can smugly say things like, "So cool. Can't believe nobody visits this place." Also, you can't tell me bringing dinosaurs back to life is less ethical than what AI is already doing to our society. According to the Oregon State Parks website, the upper fall is 42 feet, while the lower tier is about 50 feet. This waterfall really highlights the beauty that can emerge from the integration of nature and architecture. In a way, it would be unethical not to give dinosaurs a second chance. Let's move on to our third waterfall. From the entrance, take the pathway on the right side leading to Bridal Falls. The overlook at the top is nice, but it's a view of the gorge, not the waterfall. This bridge is a great place to take a picture or a standing nap. It's just a 9-minute, 0.3-mile hike down to one of the most elegant waterfalls in the area, and it's even more special with your loved one. What do you think?
It's gorgeous.
You can also go down for closer views of the beautiful 118-foot, 2-tiered waterfall. Our next stop is Wahkeena Falls. From the parking area, go to the right, past this little stream. It's just a 5-minute, 0.2-mile hike up to a stone bridge where you'll be dazzled by the gorgeous, cascading 242-foot waterfall. This is just the lower portion of Wahkeena Falls, with the upper falls viewable further up along the loop to Multnomah Falls. Wahkeena is named after the Yakima word for most beautiful, which is so spot on. You can go inside a little cave on the side, or stand dramatically like this. And now we arrive at Multnomah Falls, the main reason why many of you might be visiting. If you visit during peak season from late May to early September, you'll need a timed permit for parking between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At 620 feet, Multnomah Falls towers over every other waterfall here and all of Oregon. I have a separate video showing you the hike to the very top, but if you're short on time, do yourself a huge favor and take the 5-minute hike up to Benson Bridge while you're here. You'll be rewarded with a scene right out of a fantasy. When you're ready to head back down, you can explore informational exhibits or stop by the gift shop. Lastly, there's a restaurant right next door. Giddy up, we're at Horsetail Falls. This 176-foot tall vision seemingly pops out of nowhere as you're driving along the road. It's just stunning, and as long as you can find parking directly across the street, it's also the most easily accessible waterfall on our tour. You can get down close to the water or admire it from a picnic table nearby. If you're not in a rush, you could also take a moderate level 32-minute 0.4-mile hike to Upper Horsetail Falls, often called Ponytail Falls, where you can walk behind the waterfall like some kind of magician. And if that's not enough to satisfy your thirst for nature, you can make your way down into the water for a swim. Our last waterfall stop, Wahclella Falls, requires the longest hike among those on our tour, but it's so worth it if you have the time. You even get cute little 20-foot tall wondrous falls near the beginning of the hike along Tanner Creek as a bonus. So much water! Wasted! The moderate level trail is about 1.9 miles out and back, taking about an hour in total. I'd recommend going right for the more interesting scenery heading to the waterfall and circling back on the other side on the way back down. As beautiful as things looked when we went, one important thing to note is that this trail took heavy storm damage in December 2025, with the U.S. Forest Service stating simply that repairs will take months, so be sure to check the trail's status before planning a visit. A large portion of this 350-foot two-tiered waterfall remains hidden from this vantage point, like the sun on a cloudy day or a father's love. This place is like stepping into a fairy tale, the good kind. Just look at how clear the water is.
Amazing. I think this is my favorite hike we've done so far.
You can have a damn good time at our next stop, Bonneville Dam. Inside the visitor center, you can learn about the history and science behind this dam, but the real joy is watching the Sisyphean struggle of the fish swimming upstream along their journey through the Columbia River. Also, these guys suck, literally, and also figuratively. Back on ground level, you can take your pet to school to learn about hydroelectric power and explore the workings of this dam, taking solace in knowing that a bunch of fish are struggling somewhere down below while you're sitting comfortably on this bench. Bonneville Dam was completed in 1938 and is still operated by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This area has some interesting exhibits, including a turbine and a pillbox guard shelter. I want to take a moment to highlight a bonus stop on our tour in case it might be of interest to anyone with more time and those who are planning to cross over into Washington on their visit to this area. I actually prefer the Washington side of Bonneville Dam. You can view a scene that looks like what would happen if the Empire and Rebels from Star Wars combined their aesthetics, basically like Andor. But alas, this theater was egregiously used for non-Star Wars content. This visitor center shows a lot more of the pathway that fish take on their journey. It's like I'm in a tropical paradise. And the lower level, while similar to the viewing area on the Oregon side, has a different vibe. Even the fish here seem way more relaxed, like the other people in your group project. This is the main reason I prefer the Washington side of the dam. The scenery is just better, with some nice walking trails, and you can relax right up on the water. Back on the Oregon side, we're at the Bonneville Fish Hatchery, which is technically separate from the dam, but is considered part of the dam tourism, excuse my language, since it's right there in the same area. The most notable thing here are the big ol' sturgeon, a prehistoric species of fish going back 200 million years that once coexisted with dinosaurs. Meet Herman, who is now in his 80s. Like a grandpa, chewing on nothing but his own gums and turning around as fast as he can, damn it. Our final stop, before ending with some local dining recommendations on the way back to Portland, is Rooster Rock State Park. Going into some marshy area right now. That's what I've wanted to see for a long time. Marsh. This park has a giant parking lot and gets absolutely packed during peak summer season, but it's pretty chill during other seasons. There's a nature trail loop on the southeast end of the parking lot that passes by one of 2 disc golf courses in the park. Stacy heard a rattlesnake out here and didn't even tell me till we were well past that area. She's worried that I would stop and try to video it, but that's crazy. I'd move fast and try to video it. I wouldn't stop. Apart from the snakes and the rest of the nature here, you can have a pretty good time exploring. You should know that while a lot of the park is family friendly, there's a separate clothing optional beach area on the northwest end of the parking lot. Now that we've explored some of the most popular spots on the gorge, let's head back toward Portland with some dining recommendations in our hometown of Troutdale. By the way, none of this is sponsored in any way. One of our favorites is Lolo's. We get pizza there pretty much once a week. I think it's such a great balance of gourmet and rustic charm. We have our standard orders, but they also have some great seasonal options. Just across the street is the Troutdale burrito shop. My favorites are the vegetarian taco salad and the breakfast burrito. Before heading to our third dining destination, I'll show you a couple of places where you can get local art and gifts if that's on your agenda. We've gotten some really cool stuff over the years at this artist co-op. The people there are always super friendly and the art is just beautiful. We also really like Artistry, which has art and other items from the Pacific Northwest, including this Troutdale swag.
It's my hat!
Okay, now let's head to our final dining destination, the very popular Sugar Pine. Apart from the food and desserts they're known for, the coolest thing about this place is that it's right by the Sandy River. It's a very quick walk down, and people often set up chairs to enjoy their food by the water. It's also adjacent to Glen Otto Park, which has a great setup for hiking and other activities, like dunking.
Jordan still got it.
Well, that's it. I hope this video helped demystify the Columbia River Gorge so you can plan the itinerary that's just right for you. If you haven't had enough of my cool vibes and hot takes, I do have a playlist of separate videos on the gorge that I'll keep adding to. We end today's journey with a segment called Travel-Sized Tales, miniature stories for people on the go who want to enjoy literature, but not too much. At work, Trevor was known as the loud guy who was overconfident, but on the basketball court, he was known as Big Play Trey, provided that this court was in his imagination. See you next time.